Welcome back to Rambling Morons. My name is Matthew, and this is our my co-host,
Corey.
He's replacing Anthony for today. And we're going to be discussing Final Fantasy, the game. I do not know anything about this game. I despise of it. And this is the man that likes it. So, why do you like this game?
Well, I like Final Fantasy because it's like, it's one of those really good, really JRPG games that's been out since PS1. And they've been making remakes for, Final Fantasy X and X-2. They have remakes for it on Xbox One and PS4. They have announced Final Fantasy VII as a remake as of E3, which was last year. We don't know when that's coming out yet. And now we are on to Final Fantasy 15 coming out in September 30th. I am very excited for this game. It looks really good. It's different.
How is it different?
Well, to me it's different because of all the play style you can do in the game now. Like there's probably like a lot more you can do. Like I played Final Fantasy 13 and I never beat it. It was really fucking hard. Literally bosses. Like I don't like the fact in Final Fantasy 13 that I have to choose my fucking attack like a Pokemon. That shit's retarded.
That's the reason I never liked this game series. I don't like that whole system. You have to sit and wait to attack your enemy. I like attacking my enemy like a fucking asshole.
But well, when they came out with Final Fantasy 13 too, there was actually a free roam that you could do with lightning now. I never played Final Fantasy 13 too. That's the main character's name.
Oh.
Final Fantasy 13. Now, to be honest, I don't really know in particular certain story modes of Final Fantasy. I don't know if one follows the other. My favorite Final Fantasy, in my opinion, probably has to be Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles on the GameCube. That's my favorite Final Fantasy. Well, it's really good.
A lot of GameCube games are fucking amazing. Even I bet you that game was probably amazing if I ever tried it. But
it actually is good. You can actually in that game you can attack on your own. The bosses in that game are pretty cool. It's just like a basic RPG game. Final Fantasy is made by Square Enix. They are a company in Japan, probably. The director, all the people who made the game are Japanese, so all those games that are usually made usually come out in Japan first. As of right now, Final Fantasy 15 has no deluxe edition yet. So we're probably going to wait until E3 to see what happens with that. But I did watch a video of the director himself and somebody else talking about the game, and a guy talking about the game with commentary saying that the demo's graphics were a downgrade. So, and they said to wait until E3. So, I'm really excited about that.
I played the demo. I did see the graphics. I did not like the graphics. I can see how he's saying it is a downgrade, but I'm not.
You guys gotta remember, that's just a demo.
It's just a demo. I didn't like the demo. I'm an asshole.
Like, they're more going to be explaining. The guy was explaining the certain weapon types that are in the game. I saw a few bosses that you fight. The bosses look fucking badass. Kind of reminds me a little bit of God of War bosses, how they're just really huge. Some bosses remind me of Dark Souls bosses with guys with swords. You can drive a car in this game. You can fly the car. You can listen to Final Fantasy tracks in the car when you're taking long distances to different places, and the director himself said in the game, once you beat the final boss, you can pretty much just travel to any area you want, grind out, level up, do whatever. In the video, he did not explain leveling. He did not explain anything about weapons. What was shown in the video was the weapon that the person was obviously using, fighting giant knights, and previously showing the car and how it flies, which is pretty cool in my opinion. You do ride chocobos, which are basically birds in the game.
Okay.
They're basically going to be your fast way around things in the game. You can actually level them up by feeding them food. I really like how in the game, like if you're tired or whatever, you can take a camp break and rest, which is pretty cool.
I have one question before you continue. What is the fox thing? The fox thing with the horn.
The fox thing in the demo, I have no idea who that character is. All I know, in the game, he just shows you around the demo. He basically shows you around the world.
So he's your guide.
Yeah. Through the
basically
demo.
right now. For now.
Pretty much.
And you have to get the game to see if they actually unlock him. You don't know if he's a secret character that's stuck in
Actually,
animal.
that's the thing I'm going to get to next.
Alright, do it up.
When you pre-order Final Fantasy 15, you do get the fox throughout the entire game. As a sidekick, he can attack, he can turn huge.
Well, he has a fucking horn, so he better attack.
So, in the demo, you just start off as a young child. Basically, you don't know where you are. And the fox shows up and he talks to you and he just tells you to follow him. Basically, the basic controls of the game, showing you what to do. And this game is free roam. You don't just choose your attacks and wait.
True.
I hated that shit. Like, the bosses in Final Fantasy 13 were so cheap. They had so much more health than I did. The AIs are terrible. Like, just every other chapter you're fighting a boss and they are just ridiculously hard. And in Final Fantasy 13, some of the main characters would have this recollection or so-called thing in their life, and then they would release the monster that was inside of them. And when you beat the monster, the monster's on your side. It was a cool concept, but I got up to chapter 12 and I quit. Because after I literally beat a boss on chapter 11, I went through chapter 12 just a little bit, and I basically had to fight another boss. And the boss's health is like 1,000,000, and you have like 1,500, 3,000 health, which is crap.
This is on the DS, you said?
No, this is on Xbox 360 and PS3. But Final Fantasy was mostly released on PlayStation.
Yeah, it was a total PlayStation game.
Final Fantasy, I believe, is on 3DS.
I felt like you bought that one. So was that Kingdom Hearts?
That was Kingdom Hearts I bought.
Kingdom Hearts. Okay, that's what I'm trying to think. I remember you bought that once.
But
that's like Kingdom Hearts is sort of like Final Fantasy, the old Final Fantasy, the way how they use the players.
Mm-hmm.
But the storylines are totally different. But it's just I played the demo. I'm going back to it. Like I played the demo. I walked through it. It was cool, but then like I don't understand what's up with the golden little diamond, like the rock, the rocks and all that shit. It floats. Is that your money system or your point system? Is that like then you get like 2 weapons that you get in the first beginning of the demo is a toy hammer and a toy sword, and you don't. The hammer does the most damage. The sword doesn't do shit to anybody. And then you fight these weird wolf fucking things that are blue as fuck. And they just like attack you and bullshit.
Well, that's just basically like...
But I love this one part though. When you go into like, I think it's like the real world or like...
Yeah,
you're in the real world and you're literally like this fucking tall. And you're walking through this like little kid's bedroom. And the only part that made me happy about it is you can knock down like the walls of the toy house.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, alright, that's pretty cool. But I just...
The game is going to be
suck me
different when it comes out, guys. The game is going to be probably completely different, explanatory even at E3. They're probably going to explain more stuff at E3 than they have done in the past year for this game. So... This game is going to be released this year as of September 30th. I'm personally going to get it. I'm excited for it.
Will.
That game, it looks really good. I mean, the only games I've really been playing is pretty much Overwatch and Dark Souls. I haven't really been playing anything
Battlefield all day, training for that Battlefield 1.
I'll probably get that too.
Oh, dude, it's going to be fucking epic. But
Final Fantasy VII Remake has no release date yet. So
really?
The only thing I can guess is that Final Fantasy VII probably won't come out until 2017.
Well, that's...
Final Fantasy X, I never played, but they have a remake for 10 and 10 too.
10-2. What do you mean 10-2? They
It's
put out
just
2
X
games.
and X2.
Oh.
They also have a Final Fantasy. I forget the other one, but they made a remake for that too.
Yeah, I want to say, I mean, I'll wait until this guy gets the game, plays it, probably shows me some clips of it, and I'll wait until.
I'm sure this guy is going to be watching E3, so he'll see everything.
Probably will.
Honestly, they're probably going to. I don't want to do any console war stuff here, but with Final Fantasy 15,
it's definitely going to be a PlayStation game, though.
Final Fantasy 15 coming out on both systems. I don't know if Xbox is going to talk about it or if Sony's going to talk about it.
Sony's going to do the. I bet you we don't like to. This podcast doesn't like to do the whole console fucking shit. But
no,
like,
I'm just explaining.
No,
I don't know
but
which side it's gonna...
I don't do it like that's our thing. But I will say this: I feel like it's been a PlayStation game for a while. It's been like from the beginning, basically almost, and like it's. PlayStation's gonna have more shit for it, I bet you. Xbox is gonna have like a little handful. Then later on, once it gets older, then PlayStation's gonna probably let them have a little bit. Xbox have a little bit of the downloadable content that they didn't have in the beginning. But anyway, I bet you Sony's gonna take the cake on this one.
Probably, and yes, I will explain one more thing. Resident Evil 7 is also announced and going to be at E3. I am so excited for this.
Isn't that one console too now, or is it?
I have no idea.
Not yet? I thought
honestly, Capcom has not released any more information on this game, so they're probably saving everything for E3. E3 is next week, by the way.
What time is that? What day?
It's going to be going on until the 14th to the 16th of E3. Hope you guys will be watching, because I know I will be watching. Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo. I'll be watching everything because I'm excited to see all the new stuff that both of these companies are going to be coming out with. I'm pretty sure they're announcing new systems too, which is why some of the games are not coming out yet, because they are coming out with a 4K Xbox and PlayStation.
Oh, yeah, the leaks, right?
The
leak
reason,
systems.
The reason they are making this, Oculus Rift, is going to be released in October.
Oculus Rift, I don't know.
Basically, the gaming vision where you put the headset on and you can see everything.
Oh, okay. I did not hear about that. I hear prototypes, but I don't hear about the full development.
The full development, they're probably still developing it as we speak. They're probably trying to make it better. They have IGN people testing it out. Mostly, they're going to be coming out with... E3 will probably talk about more about this when we see it.
Definitely.
But GameStop has probably sold out on pre-orders because they were doing pre-orders a while ago, and they said to pre-order now or else nobody will get one.
Ooh, that's.
And it is going to be, I believe, $400 for everything, because it's going to be coming with all this different stuff like the Kinect hands. Probably.
If you pre-order Final Fantasy.
I don't know if it's going to work with Final Fantasy, but
Oh, you're talking about the headset. Oh,
yeah,
the
headset I'm talking about.
Oh, all right.
Oculus Rift is going to be a good thing. They're probably going to be coming out with maybe 30 or 40
I can see some good and bad out of this thing. Meaning not like it's going to be a terrible fucking product. I'm thinking personally, you using it and you're in that world, lock your doors, lock everything so you don't get fucked with. Because I could see somebody in their fucking room doing something and just getting hit in the nuts.
I gotta say, the horror games on this thing look fantastic.
Horror? Oh god, no.
I've seen some of them. I've seen videos of IGN playing an actual paranormal game, and it looks good. This Oculus Rift thing is already out on PC. I've seen YouTubers like PewDiePie and Markiplier use it. They use it for some games that they play on their YouTube channels, so it's already on PC. They already own the headset. So, you know, guys, I hope you enjoy E3. Final Fantasy 15, just like I am. I'm hoping that this company will come out with a deluxe edition for Final Fantasy. But for now,
it's gonna be a lot of money.
It'll probably, my guess is,
it's gonna be in the hundreds.
With this bundle, probably $80 to $100. Maybe a statue, a figure, maybe some. You know they always have to gouge you for the season pass all the time. But that wraps up this podcast.
Yep, that's it. We're done.